Hi, Vicky. Thank you for your essays. Now let's look at the first one. That's about the purpose of schools, right? The role of schools has been a contentious topic in many societies. Very nice. Contentious. Great word. Some people deem that it should only focus on imparting knowledge and skills to students, whereas others, including myself, believe that educational institutes should be more delightful. Oh, well, I wouldn't use the word delightful. Perhaps you could say entertaining or engaging, but delightful would not be the right word here. Also, whereas here requires just a comma, not a semicolon. This essay will discuss the reasons behind this perspective with examples. Okay, so I would add this latter perspective, not just with examples, but using examples to support my position or the position of the author, something like this. Firstly, the main purpose of schools, with no doubt, you don't need the with, no doubt, is education. Here we need a semicolon. However, learning is not linear progress. Very nice. This is very advanced vocabulary. In other words, students cannot digest everything if they solely study for extended hours. It is largely because effective, you don't need that. Effective learning involves two states, including concentration and relaxed awareness. I wouldn't say including, I would say and namely, because you are specifying the two states, right? Okay, in which people absorb knowledge subconsciously. Um, For example, a study by Harvard University demonstrates that students who adopt relaxation such as listening to music between their concentration study outperform their counterparts by 10% in mathematics. Oh, you can save yourself some words and actually use the symbol of percent. Therefore, leisure allows learners to enter the state of subconscious learning and increase their productiveness. Productiveness or productivity, up to you. Very nice paragraph. I really like the depth of your analysis. Apparently, you do have a background in education, right? Or psychology. Secondly, studying without leisure activities may cause stress and eventually discourage children. On the contrary, entertainment makes learning more enjoyable and interesting. Okay. It is due to the fact that pleasurable activities shift the focus from tedious studies to other aspects and give opportunity to children to relax. Um, I would connect these two sentences and do it like this. Um, oh, beg your pardon. Other aspects, which is due to the fact that pleasurable activities shift the focus from tedious study. And how about another synonym um, for interesting, like motivating, because interesting is a rather simple word. I can see from the way you can handle vocabulary and grammar that your command of language is very nice. So why not using something more precise? Okay. Give opportunities. Okay. The British Education Department notes that children who enjoy entertaining activities in schools hold a more positive attitude towards learning and perform better academically compared to their peers. Hence, entertainment keep children motivated and passionate about schooling. Very good. To sum up, schools should be more entertaining, not only to motivate and encourage students, but also to boost their effectiveness in learning. Absolutely. This is a very good essay with great arguments, great development. Yes, you do have some minor slips. I'm sure that you will easily learn from my corrections. And you see, perhaps you should read about using relative clauses, like the use of which, relative pronoun which, to connect shorter sentences into longer sentences, or using the right relative pronoun. But anyway, your range of grammar and vocabulary is great. Your task achievement is absolutely on point. Coherence and cohesion are quite good. and your grammatical range and accuracy are quite on the level, especially the range. Now let's have a look at the second essay. This was the first one, right? Now let's look at this one. Okay, doing an enjoyable activity with a child can develop better skills and more creativity than reading. Okay, it is a debatable topic that reading is the best optimal means. If you say the best, you shouldn't say the optimal and vice versa. They're kind of interchangeable. So let's say the optimal means for children to enhance their skills and creativity. Creativity is an uncountable word, so you don't need to put it in the plural. Some people, including myself, would argue that learning is not limited to textbooks, while other joyous activities can develop various important aspects. Let's do it like this. I would argue that learning should not be limited, should not be limited, because you are speaking from a perspective of advising. You are one of the people who say, guys, learning is not a thing that should be limited to textbooks. Do it like this, not like that. Okay, let's go on. Can also develop, right? Because you admit the fact that um, entertaining activities are very efficient in developing learning various skills. Okay, reflection, reflection. Okay. Firstly, even though reading has numerous benefits, playing on electronic game consoles playing on electronic game consoles can foster skill sets which would be impossible to acquire by only reading, right? We need to single out that it's by only reading. This is because by playing you on gaming devices, children can develop a variety of techniques such as spatial awareness. I wouldn't say techniques. A technique is the way you do something. Spatial awareness, reflection, and imaginations are skills, um, or abilities, such as spatial awareness, reflection, and imagination. And I don't think we use this reflection, we will use the CT reflection. According to the recent study by the University of Melbourne, children who play on game consoles, they don't play with them, they play games on the consoles, namely PlayStation, 2 hours a day, outperform their counterparts by 10%. Okay. Outperform their counterparts where? At school, or the counterparts who didn't play games, perhaps just a bit more specification for the counterparts. Therefore, playing electronic games, or you can also say video games, or computer games, because this is how you find a more appropriate way of paraphrasing electronic game consoles and give yourself a better range of vocabulary. Therefore, playing video games is beneficial to children by allowing them to enhance and explore the areas neglected by reading. Okay, very good. Secondly, just reading may lead to children a more academic bias. Okay, I'm kind of lost in the grammar here. Just reading may lead children to have a more academic bias regarding their skill sets. You mean their skill sets will be more academic and less practical. I'm not sure that you can say it like this, an academic bias regarding, I would say, in their skill set, or I wouldn't use bias. I'm not sure I have ever met it in a context like this. I cannot say yes, but I cannot say no, because I don't know everything in the world. No one knows everything in the world. I don't even know. Not even those who write dictionaries. They still consult others. They consult other dictionaries. More academic bias or imbalance, I would say. It is due to the fact that physical activities, especially sports, introduce a new dynamic to the children to hone their physical and mental strengths. And this is where we need the plural, right? because you say physical and mental. The British Sports Council notes that students who play sports regularly tend to have better mental clarity. What is mental clarity? And perform better in problem solving. Hence, the merit of physical activities is evident, and given the opportunities to complement the skills that children cannot grasp from reading. I'm not sure why you're using this given. And you can say it like this, and complements the skills that children cannot grasp from reading. Well, no, it doesn't complement the skills. It complements the skills that the children can grasp from reading, because children learn from reading one thing, and what they learn from physical activities complements what they have already learned from reading. If you understand what I mean, I guess you do. I'm sure you do. Okay, to conclude, leisure activities such as playing electronic games and sports. Okay, and look at this. If you say playing electronic games and sports, it means playing electronic games and playing electronic sports. In order to avoid that, you should do it like this. You should move sports before electronic games, and everything will be absolutely perfect. Okay, playing sports and electronic games can develop the essential skills which are difficult to obtain from reading alone, right? Again, we have to single it out. Thereby, children should be encouraged to collaborate with such activities. No, we collaborate with people. Children can collaborate with adults or with one another, but not with activities. Should be encouraged to collaborate, to engage in such activities in their study or in their study process, to possess or to learn, to acquire all-rounded skill sets. Okay, perfect. Great topical vocabulary, great ideas, great detail, and wonderful analysis. Just make sure that you pay attention to the details that I have singled out. It's not very difficult. As you can see, these are minor things like grammatical slips or verbal forms or choice of word. I mean, I think sometimes word choice is one of the most daunting tasks, and it takes time to get used to the differences between synonyms. But trust me, it's not very difficult. Anyway, Vicky, you have a great style, great analysis skills, and keep up the great work. Absolutely.